Welcome to another therapy session with your girls,
Felisa
and Elisa. As we know, today is Saturday, so that means it's Second Chance Saturday. And speaking of Second Chance Saturday, where we talk about love, break up, and you decide you want to love again, what's today's song?
Today's song is This Time by John Legend.
I love John Legend.
Yeah, I actually saw him in concert 1 year at the Rodeo. I think it was like 2015, I believe.
You ain't take me?
Well, I didn't. I took your youngest brother. But
and she said she don't have favorites.
I mean, seeing him, he gave a beautiful live concert. Oh my God, it was beautiful. Okay. I had to look at some cows and, they had, cowboy stuff and whatever. That was my first and probably, my first and only show that I ever went to. And I only went to it because they were featuring John Legend. Now, I don't know about this year with COVID and everything. It's just so hard to decide what you want to do, public wise with the pandemic going on. But we never know. I mean, because we haven't had the rodeo since 2019. They've canceled it for 2 years in a row.
Right. Because everyone from all over the world comes down here for it. So that'll be spread central.
And when we say here, we mean Houston, Texas. I mean, that's where we're from. And we have the rodeo every year between February and March. I've taken my children to it several times as they grown up, as they were growing up and stuff. You get to go see the animals, you get to ride the rides and play game. It's a carnival. It's a carnival, it's a rodeo show, it's a craft show, you get to go by, Yeah, they have different concerts and stuff. It's always,
It's an all-in-one fun, good time, and I love. My favorite part is the concession stand.
Yeah, they got a lot of concession stands.
I love trying all them turkey legs. Big turkey legs be, they put something in them turkey legs because them turkey legs too good.
Yeah, they are.
You can't find them nowhere else but there.
I don't know. I mean, we've yet to go to the turkey leg hut. I mean, so if you ever been to the turkey leg hut, drop a comment because we've yet to be there.
It's as good as the rodeo.
As good as the rodeo, because every time I see the line too long, I don't stand in line for nothing like that. I'm like, if I stand in line that long and I get there, I'm like, dang! I'll be so mad. It wasn't worth standing in line for no 2 hours now.
I'm dead.
Well, I mean, obviously, I must be good. I mean, that's the only thing that's kept me from going is that I'm not standing in line to eat no food. I'm sorry. I mean, like I said, if you've been there, let me know. I mean, I've known people say, it's the truth. I'll just believe them. Yeah. And maybe one day when it dies down maybe I'll go see myself. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Back to the song.
Yes.
The lesson of today is, of course, the second chance is that when you ask for a second chance, or this song is entitled "This Time," so we don't know what this time is. It could be the 10th time.
Hopefully, it's just the second.
Hopefully, it's the second time, but it could be, the song is basically talking about, how he's saying he's putting all the cards, he's giving all his heart. I mean, it just seemed like if you listen to the songs, at one point he wasn't really sure. Mm-hmm. He wasn't really sure that it's the relationship or the love was what he really wanted. Mm-hmm. But so she checked out. Mm-hmm. She checked out. And now he's like, hey, I'll get you back because I'm thinking about you. I miss you, and if you come back to me this time, it's gonna be everything. It's gonna be everything you want, everything you need, whatever. So it's a good second chance song. I mean, if you really are truly ready, this is the song for you. And like I said, it'll be definitely in the description below. If you're really ready to give someone your all, because don't ask for nobody, don't ask for another chance, and you're gonna still do the same crap you did before.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you really and truly missing someone and want them back, you're gonna have to first, reevaluate yourself. Figure, especially if you were the one that were, like you said, I'm giving all my cards. But okay, well, obviously he was holding back. He wasn't he wasn't giving everything he could give. He was, so he wasn't really living up to, I guess, what the situation should have been the first time. So, and like I say, now he's saying this time, I'm going to do obviously probably what she wants, and and that's, I think that's what we were talking about on was it on Affirmation Wednesday, how if you affirm, confirm, you don't have, you won't have to always ask for a second chance.
Right, exactly.
But life happens. People, get confused. So people get scared. I know, when I was, feeling, emotions that I hadn't felt for a long time, I got a little scared, got a little emotional, got a little angry. But
like a scared cat.
Well, especially if you haven't felt something in a long time, you do get, you do get a little scared, and you may pull back, or you may, or you either pull back or lash out, and the other person gets all confused and not, and they're like, well, what I do or whatever.
What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, and because sometimes love could be a scary thing, especially when you really feel like a person has really captured you.
Right.
They've captured you. And you're just like, oh my goodness, and you're feeling things you may have not felt either at all for the first time, or maybe again, after a long time, you're feeling, and you're afraid to feel that close to someone, because especially, during this time, it could be scary, because, you just don't know what the future holds.
Right.
But I know this song, like I say, if you but this song is the epitome of giving a second chance, that you're going to want to do everything. You're going to want to, throw out everything on the table, hash it out, and that way, you can go on to, be a better couple. Because like I say, in couple situations, it's always that one person is, teetering, or it could be both. But and it's understandable, because especially if you've had issues, you have commitment issues, you have insecurities, you have self-doubt, you don't know if you're good enough, or would you be enough, or and stuff like that. And especially if the other person is not really feeding back into you to make you feel that you're enough or whatever. And they're not, because sometimes people don't really think to do that. They think, like I say, because they're there, their presence, they're there for you or whatever. That sometimes they don't know how. That sometimes people need words. They don't, actions are good, because people say,
actions speak louder than
actions speak louder than words. But sometimes you need to kind of hear the words too.
Words still speak though.
Yeah, words are good too. Yeah. And if the action and the words match, it's the same thing. I'm not saying to give words with no action. That's ludicrous to say, but but people need to hear words. They need to, so like I say, if you're holding back, this song actually tells you how to open up, basically. Because if you're going to be with someone, you can't teeter. You can't be on the fence. You can't, because you're going to hurt that other person.
Right.
And that's obviously, like you said, I saw her yesterday, whatever. Because that person said, I'm not going to be with this no more. And they gone, And now you're thinking about, oh, Lord. And so sometimes, I've told people my advice in the past. Sometimes you got to walk away. You have to walk away just to let somebody see how important that you are in their life. Right. Because they don't know until you're gone. If there's a chance they can get you back, it's always a chance. If people
like Butterfly.
Yeah, they're like Butterfly. Like I said, we give these second chance songs to give people, food for thought on what if you're gonna go back. Or if you're going to take someone back, you're going to have to work on it. You're not going to just say, well, take me back, we're back together, but then you still, running into the same problems, and so, it's not going to work.
Right.
If I believe you get a second chance, you need to figure out, why you needed a second chance,
Mm-hmm.
and then work it out. You know, so that way you don't need because some people you might not get a third. You might not get a third because I mean, if someone's, because you have to realize if someone's willing to give you a second chance, that person obviously really loves you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a hard thing to break up with somebody because you know, cause a lot of times when you break up with someone it's because you're hurt.
Right.
You know, and you're just tired, and you just, you know, and you tried, and that person, like he say, well, he didn't to my, now I want to give all my heart, now I want to lay all the call. Okay, yeah, but you know, he obviously wasn't doing that at first.
Exactly.
And if you know, and I'm sure somebody out there knows how that feels when you're giving everything that you have. He said, I'm gonna give it all now this time, but that other person obviously was giving all the cards and giving all their heart the first time, and now you want to do it now because the person told you, you know, kick rocks, you know. So yeah. I mean, and now you want to, you know, come back, but you know, all I can say is that if a person gives you that chance, take it to heart to make sure that you work on whatever it was that made that person, you know, let you go. Mm-hmm. And if they give you that second chance, trust me, know that they give you that second chance, they obviously love you. Because a lot of times, some people don't give second chances. Some people, like my daughter, she, you know, and I rarely do. I'm not gonna say that I haven't. I have, you know, but then I realized that why I didn't work out the first time. Mm-hmm. and then it's
bingo.
Over. Right. So. You know, and I hope that if I ever give a second chance to anyone, that it would, you know, that would be our, you know, bridge to know that, you know, okay, this is what we need to do to make it work so we don't have to go through this again, you know, and utmost is communication, you know. I think I've drilled this in a lot of these, especially second chance videos, communication. If you don't talk to someone, if you don't tell someone how you feel, I mean, some people are like, well, I don't want, you know, because that makes me vulnerable. That makes me, you know, I mean, you don't have to tell about everything. I mean, the person that you love ain't your psychiatrist, okay? They're not your therapist, okay? That's why we always say on this channel, if you really feel like you need some help, get some professional help, okay? Ain't nobody trying to be your therapist. Ain't nobody trying to be your psychiatrist. I mean, they're just trying to love you. But if you got deep-seated issues, you know, your significant other cannot help you. They can't prescribe you no medication either.
There's people who went to school for that.
Right. There's people who actually got degrees and they have practices. And I mean, even now they even because of the, you know, COVID situation and everything, they even have where you can actually go on an app, and they have therapists on apps now that you can actually get a therapist on an app. And you know, and hash out your issues. I mean, don't put a person through unnecessary stuff because you're feeling all of this, but you still want this. You know, you burden another person, you know, with these issues, and they're trying to figure out is how to love you, and you know, then here you come on to say this time, like, come on. I love the song though. Don't get me. It's a beautiful second chance. I think it's one of the most beautiful second chance songs I've heard, because
unless he could sing like that, he ain't getting no second chance from me.
Well, yeah, true. I mean,
unless he can sing that song just like that, make me feel some goosebumps. You better go on about your business.
Yeah, because with some people you got to come hard for a second chance. Some people ain't gonna just let you get back in the door. Some people shoot the deuce and they gone.
And it especially depends on how you messed up in the first place.
Right.
Like from my standpoint, as an avid no second chancer, because I've done that all through my teens to my upward to mid-20s, and it was still nothing but a waste of time. Right. So now I'm just avid, like, you mess up once, I'm cool. Like, you mess up, not saying like my love can't, like, get on my nerves and I'm going up and leave. Like, no. I'm talking about, like, a serious betrayal, a serious, issue that arise, or a fundamental issue come up that we can't
just can't get past.
Yeah, that, like, if something like that comes up and then we end up breaking up or something like that, then I'm gonna leave that alone for good. So but honestly, like, I love how he phrased how he was going to come back, because like how she said, like, a lot of males, some females too, but it's mostly on the male side, they don't realize what they have until it's gone. Right. That's when, and then once they see that without you in their life, they have this huge void that you filled, that they didn't realize you filled. And then now they, but they was coming with only 50% to the table, or was being dismissive, or, being neglective to the relationship, to where the relationship finally died, and you went on about your business. That's when they be like, oh wait, I need my girl back. Like, I was like, something ain't right. I need my girl back. Yeah. But the way he phrased it, and I love the lyric in there, I can't remember verbatim, but where he says, like, I'll come back as a man. Yeah. So, fellas, if you left that relationship as a boy, don't come back until you become a man. Right. Because at the end of the day, you can't come back with the same issues you left the relationship with. Right. Because unless you change that about yourself, then don't waste that person's time. Yeah. Whether felt male or female, like a female, like if you hurt this guy, especially with guys now, women, are more likely to give a second chance than men.
Yeah, women are more forgiving.
But men?
Oh no. If a man forgave you, men hard. I mean, I've always, the sentiment, from, old school wisdom, I always say men hearts are a little harder. They don't, a woman, we be falling in love since middle school. But a man might fall in love maybe once or twice in his life. Cause right. They don't.
You can't burn them too many times.
Right. They don't fall in love. We all like, I love him. And then next week, I hate him. Women are more fickle with love because we're emotional and romanticizing stuff and all that. We like the little, chick flicks and the, romance novels and stuff like that. So we're more apt to feel love more. Right. Maybe, on the shallow level or on the deeper, even, but of course we're capable of feeling on a deeper level as well. Right. But men, when they love, when they get hurt,
you gotta come back 2 times the woman. You gotta come back Wonder Woman. You
come back with a cape on your back.
Right? They don't forgive it.
Yeah, easy. Men don't forgive it. If they forgive it all, they don't forgive it's easy.
They might forgive you enough to be a friend or a bed woman for the time being.
Yeah, because a lot of times if they do come back, they're never back. But it's not just with men though, but it's anyone. When you hurt someone and they, do decide to give you a second chance, it's never the same, And a lot of times the person that caused the issue will get upset with the person that's giving them the second chance because you're not to say, okay, well, you have to realize you did something. And a person, once they're hurt, it's like, if anything, if your skin is smooth, but you cut yourself. Even though your skin heals, it's going to always be a scar. It's going to always be a reminder that you cut yourself. It's never going to just disappear. And that's just how, when you hurt somebody, it's always going to be a scar. Even though it heals, they can get past it. They can, but it's always going to be there. And, somewhere in the recesses, that hurt and that pain that they got over it, but it's still there. And they're never going to trust you the same. They never, it's never going to be the same. Even if you come full force, like he said, I'm going to give everything, all the cards. They, now she might be on the fence because now she watching you.
I'd say this. Whenever my girlfriends come to me about relationship advice, for instance, I had one girlfriend where, her and her dude broke up because he did some stupid. And And she was like, he's asking me for a second chance. He said that, you know, he wants us to have what we had before. Mm-hmm. And I told her, no, don't give him a second chance. And the reason, and she asked me, well, why? What makes you say no so adamantly? And I told her, the fact is that he said that he wants to have what you guys had before. Do you think you could actually be how you were before he hurt you? Mm-mm. She's like, no. So why waste your time?
Right.
So all that to say, if you're the one who messed up, male or female, if you're the one that messed up, do not go back with the intent to make things how it was before. Because it won't be that way. She's not going to be the same girl. He's not going to be the same man. Now you created a whole new route, a whole new road, a whole new path to somewhere else. Because that old road, that old path, it's gone. You put a dead end on that. Yeah, so now you got to pave a whole new way to get back to their heart and create a different future than what you would have had. So for anybody who has someone who wants a second chance, or you're thinking about giving them a second chance, if that's their mind frame, but you really want to give them a second chance, then I'd say to sit down and have a conversation and let them know up front, it's not going to be how it was. Yeah. I'm not going to be how I was. You going to come in with 100%, but don't expect 100% from me right off the gate, because you're going to have to show and prove. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you how long it's going to take for me to reciprocate what you're showing me. Let them know that up front. Mm-hmm. Like you said, communication. You can't go in because, well, I still love him, so I'm going to go back. Then y'all gonna go crash and burn again, because he gonna come in, because he gonna take, or she gonna take you as forgiving them as, okay, it's a brand new start. Nothing that I did in the past is gonna come up.
Clean slate.
And clean slate. Like, now you're not gonna be mad. Now we can go back to what we were and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. When in your mind you like, oh, I'm finna check everything. I ain't gonna give him nothing. All my cards are going back in my binder. You know, he ain't getting nothing, and then you come together, and then it's like this mismatch, and then it ends worse than what it did in the first place. Right, you know, right. So that would be my tidbit of advice is, you know, if I'm not a bitty Betty, so even though I'm against it, I do give advice on it for those who want to have one, or considering giving one, or giving a second chance, or one that's, you know, wanting to go and ask for a second chance. Is definitely to sit down with that person and have that open conversation of what they should expect and what they expect of you as well, and make sure that matches up, and then from there proceed. And if it don't match up, don't go forward with it, because if you have that disagreement or that discernment or before you even start again, then it's going to end the same way, if not worse than it did before. Yeah. So that would be my advice. That's why I love this song. I like what he says, and if a man comes at you with, you know, this type of vibe of verbiage, then I would say it'd be worth considering. But
have that conversation.
First.
Just don't go into it like,
yeah,
okay,
don't be like, okay, baby, like, no,
I'll take you back. I forgive.
Yeah, no, because I don't know, because that's why I say I'm an avid non-second chancer, and I let my significant other know that up front, that I'm not the forgiving type. And he told me the same. He said, I'm not the forgiving type either. Right. And we laid down what our deal breakers were. Right. So I know what lines not to cross with him, and he know what lines not to cross with me. And ironically, it's the same line, you know. But we both know that if we cross that line, there is no coming back. Right. Any other, you know, discrepancies or whatever like that, we can work it out. But that one thing, we can't work it out.
Right, and that's what, as a couple, you know, that is a discussion. I mean, when you know, I watch, of course, you know, I'm doing, you know, my dating advice as a Gen Xer and an older lady, but I do listen to a lot of I do listen to a lot of you know, relationship channels and stuff like that, because they do help you out a lot.
Yeah.
If some of you guys can't afford, or afford therapy, or you just don't want people to know you're getting therapy. I mean, there's a lot of channels on YouTube that you can hit that can actually help you hash some things out, on your own mental, as far as you can just kind of hash them out on your own. I mean, it's good to have someone to listen to you, but it's also good to listen to someone telling you, what's good, what's bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, we do it with music, of course, because, we're more lighter. We're not serious. We're not, we lighten it up with a little music.
Yeah.
And stuff. But there are people on this channel that are serious,
that when we say serious, we're not saying like, oh, our advice to you is a joke. Like, that's not what we mean when she says, like, we're not saying. What she means is, like, we don't come from a background of, we have, the science behind it, or, we didn't go to school for this. This is just our personal first-hand accounts of the different, situations and lessons that come up in the song, and we're giving advice based off of our first-hand experience. That's what she means,
right?
When she says,
and it's based on the songs.
Our lessons are based on songs.
The lessons are our lessons are based on songs. Because like I said, we love music. We're avid lover of music.
Yes.
So that's why our perspective is from music. That because it helps me a lot to listen to a good song, whether it's to inspire me, to soothe my little, while I'm licking my wounds, I can listen to a nice little song, whatever.
Break heart.
And like I said, that's what we're doing as a part of our, advice on here. But like I say, it is some people who are therapists that are actually, have YouTube channels that are licensed therapists and stuff that give some pretty good advice on this. If you want, and I may actually, since we spoke on it, I might actually drop some links of some good people that I know that I listen to as well, to kind of help people, especially with the second chance and stuff. And so I might link some of their videos to this video as well, because I mean, like I say, people mess up.
It's human nature.
People mess up, and I mean, so you can't always say, screw them, bye, say la vie, whatever. I mean, just and kick rocks and all that kind of stuff. To be singing, what's this Queen song? Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, because
that's my jam.
I know, and that's pretty much my life, but. We gonna take a drink on that one, but I'm just saying that you want to, if it's worth having, it's worth holding on to. Mm-hmm. It's worth working it out. If it's not something detrimental, somebody. Like I said, that's why we do Toxic Tuesday. Now, if you're in a toxic relationship and he asks for a second chance, you leave him, let him. I don't care what song he's singing you, let him go. Or her, if she's trying to. She'll slash your tires and bust your windows out. I don't care what song she's singing you.
Unless she buy you a new car.
And then, I'm just saying. I mean, cause she looking for a criminal background. But I mean, we're not talking about second chances on that level. I mean, some people just you need to lead them in the wind.
Yeah, when we say like people. So, what would you say some relationship situations that you would say is worth giving a second chance for?
Well, if it's not, I would say.
I know not detrimental, but like what certain type of situations? Because like for me, I would say, for instance, certain situation where I think, well, I still wouldn't, but a second chance that would be warranted is if, you said some things below the belt during a heated argument.
Yeah, because
because
things get ugly. That's why,
especially if one of you were trying to walk away and the other one wouldn't let you walk away, and you say, that's why you look like your one-tooth mama. Like, I don't I don't know. But,
I like this TikTok. That's why your mom ain't got no feet. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, like something like that. I would say, okay,
And my advice on this channel, guys, keep the argument to the argument. I mean, a lot of times we, argue and we take it, but, hitting below the belt sometimes. Because like I say, when you're with someone, you share a lot of personal information, very personal stuff. And then when you get in a heated argument, some of that, and that person makes you so mad, you might want to, get personal, and
I've almost gotten that.
Well, I'm just saying, you want to get personal, but it's sometimes it's no coming back from that. I mean, because you say, for instance, you talk about the way a person look, or
they talk about their size.
Oh, their size, or some women, some y'all be ooh-wee. I wouldn't do that, but I've known some women that can go there, boy. I'll be like, woo, I wouldn't do that because
I faked it every single time.
I know some women go there, baby. Because you mad, but then once you calm down, you're like, that person ain't gonna forget what you said.
Yeah.
That person, how you gonna forget what somebody said on that personal level? And that's why your breath stink. Oh, your fucking feet, or whatever. You think you dress nice and you look like a dumb bomb. And and it's not even about what you were arguing. You might be mad because you didn't take out the trash, but you gonna tell him that his feet stink. That ain't nothing to do with the trash. But then the person, he gonna be like, oh no, my feet stink. Whatever. It's like. I'm just saying, don't make it personal. Is all I'm trying to say, because I don't care if you take it there. Sometimes ain't no coming back from some of the stuff people have said to each other. Ain't no coming back from that. So
that's why baby ain't yours.
What you say?
That's why the baby ain't yours anyway. No, you ain't coming back. You gonna be on more.
I'm just saying, you just gotta, be mindful to keep your argument on the subject of the argument.
Yeah.
Because, don't take it personal, because then, you still got to go to bed with that person and you don't just told them they were ugly.
Sleep with one out.
Yeah, my ex looked better than you. My ex was finer than you. They be like, oh, y'all really not, really? People have said I've heard some ugly stuff said to people. And I think, I don't know I'm trying to think back. I probably said some ugly stuff myself.
Oh, you said some ugly stuff.
As a young person, but as I got older now, I've really, because I've heard people, like people that I know that I love call me, they're upset because, somebody took it there. And I be like, whoa, he said that for real? I'm like, whoa, girl, how you gonna come back from that one? But
I think in arguments, period, you should have set rules.
Right.
Like, I know one of our rules is no cursing. We don't curse at each other during arguments.
Ooh, that'd be kind of hard.
I ain't gonna lie. It's hard. Because I be feeling it coming up like...
I understand.
So, like, I'll be like... In my head, I'll be saying every cuss word known to man. Out my mouth, I'm like... Baby, what I'm trying to say is... I need you to... Blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I'm like...
Yeah, because it's a guy that I listen to. I'm actually going to link him in the description below. One thing he does, say, because he's like on a Christian tip, which is good. If you are a Christian, but he said, especially with women, always know to kind of keep. You can say this, say things in a respectful manner.
Right.
You don't have to chop nobody down to get your point across.
Right,
and men, you don't have to raise your voice. Okay? Because, especially men with deep baritone voices, you raise your voice, it can get real scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, always keep your voices, in an even tone and talk it out.
If you go up, we go up.
Yeah.
And our voice even though yours is deep, ours is
high pitch.
High.
Yeah.
So we gonna get on your nerves before you get on the
That's true. That's true. So I mean, it just sometimes you can just sit and talk. Talk it out. I mean, it doesn't always have to, turn into a knockdown, drag out verbal confrontation.
Especially because, like, I would say, like, think of it like this: if you screaming and your partner's screaming, top of your lungs, same time, ain't nobody hearing nothing. Mm-mm. Like, you want to get your point out so bad, but you giving your point out on deaf ears because they can't hear you because they hear you when you say your mammy. And that's all they gonna hear. You gonna be like, what?
I'm just joking.
Yo, mammy. That's how you know you country.
I'm making light of a situation. Yeah,
but so, like I said, make communication. Like, that's the main thing. Like, to not even get to the second chance. It's about communication. Have rules set out. Like, I'm a firm believer of rules. Like, like I said, like, before me and my love, before we made it official, we sat down and had a conversation about the path of our relationship.
Right.
We sat down and went through every type of different scenario about how we handle it. Like, again, like our rules for arguments. Like, if we get into an argument, don't raise your voice.
Right.
Keep it respectful, no cursing, and we talk one at a time.
Right.
That's
how you can get your point across.
Right. Yeah. And and then sometimes, and if I don't understand what you say, I'm gonna say, baby, give me an example. Put it to me another way. If I don't get what he's saying, I'll tell him the same thing. To keep it peaceful, and even if we mad, like, keep it peaceful, keep it cordial, and that way we can work through it versus staying mad and and everything like that. And like our triggers, stuff like that. So again, to round us back to the topic of the therapy session, all in all, to say, if you're going to come back to get a second chance from someone and that person is actually considering it, even if the person who's considering taking you back don't bring it up, don't take that as a slide. Say, okay, I appreciate you wanting to give me a second chance, but to make sure that we go down the same path and that we come back stronger on this different path that we're creating, let's sit down and have this conversation about this, that, and the third, whatever is important, whatever broke you up in the first place, to have some borders on making sure that don't happen again, right, and so forth and so on. And and the person who's given the second chance, make sure you make your stance very clear, right, make your boundaries very clear, so that way on this new path you have the person that you actually want to go with down that path, the way you need them to be. And if they can't agree to your demands, you can't agree to their demands, then you just saved yourself some time.
Yeah, and an additional heartache. Trust me.
Exactly.
And it's some actual pointers that I actually left on my computer. It was 5 pointers that if you are going to give a second chance, I'm gonna leave them in the description below so you can actually read them. And they're good conversation starters. Not even for a second chance. Just basically if you're dating and you're thinking about getting serious with someone.
Oh yeah, it's good for first chance too. Yeah, if you're considering going down the official path, because like I said, that's what we did, and we've been together for a couple years now, and I can literally say we've only had 2 arguments in 2 years.
Right, and that's a good way to start it out. So like I say, I'm gonna leave those it's 5 steps that I got off of another channel that I thought was pretty good. I'm gonna leave them in the description box below. Good conversation starters. Like I say, if you're gonna go for a second chance, it's kind of pinpoint out what expectations are, what you guys see for a future with each other. Where do we go from here? Basically. Right. And so you guys can just like I said, that's why you definitely gonna hash it out. Just can't say, okay, we just gotta forgive you. Let's go. We all like no.
No.
It's not gonna work.
No.
So that's all we're saying, so like I say, I'm gonna leave some stuff in the description box for more than I normally do, to help help you guys that's gonna watch this video on some pointers for therapy, relationship, conversation starters for either second chance on a relationship or just going into a relationship, and of course the song. So,
I was like, don't forget the song.
Yeah, and the song. So, and of course the lesson. I always put the synopsis of the lesson that we speak of today, and of course it was if someone's going to give you a second chance, definitely take it serious.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Don't come half-hearted.
Yeah.
Just because you feeling lonely, come back for the right reason.
Yeah, don't come back because you couldn't find nobody else.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's just rude.
Yeah, that's rude. Come back because you really, really love a person.
Right.
Because you miss a cooking and
now you over there eating hungry man.
You eat some hungry man and some pot pies and be like, man, she used to make me some rotisserie chicken, the rare rotisserie. Anyway, guys, we finna conclude this because we, like I say, I think we made our point, and
yeah.
And so, just of course, drop a comment if you've given someone a second chance. If this song would make you give someone a second chance, let us know. And so close us
out. Okay. Call me Miss Hip. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us for another therapy session. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, click that notification button so you could get notifications of when we post our next upload. Sorry about that. And we will see you guys next time. Please enjoy your Saturday and the remaining of your weekend, and we'll see you guys next time for Inspirational Sunday.
out. All right.
Bye.